Singing all night, singing all day, you know the angels are watching over me. Well, then I went to the church house where I used to pray, you know the angels are watching over me, my Lord. And my soul got a happy, I stayed all day when the angels are watching over me. They watching over me, singing all day. Singing all night, singing all day, you know the angels are watching over me.
I'd like to talk to you from the subject, knowing what to look for. Knowing what to look for. Beloveds, all the synoptic gospels have the presentation of Jesus' temptation. Mark's presentation in Mark chapter 1 is rather brief and vivid. But Matthew and Luke, on the other hand, have a very extensive version of the temptation of Jesus. In both that he gives Satan suggestions, at the same time he gives Jesus answers. Well, I want you to know what struck me about the text was 40. 40. Beloveds, 40. Israel spent 40 years in the wilderness. Moses spent 40 years on the backside of the desert in training. The spies sent 40 days out of Canaan. The rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Beloved, Jesus was in the wilderness 40 days. Now, 40 is used 144 times in the Bible. 96 of those times refer to testing. Testing. Please get this. So the number of 40 is associated with testing. Now I want you to see something, because all the test is designed to do is to see if you would remain faithful unto God. Deuteronomy chapter 8. Deuteronomy chapter 8. I want to show you something. I want to show you what testing is for. Deuteronomy chapter 8. Are you there, Prince? Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse number 2. The Bible says what?
And thou shalt remember all that which the Lord thy God led these 40 years in the wilderness.
He said, you better remember what the Lord thy God led thee 40 years in the wilderness. Wait a minute. What do I want you to remember? Number one, read. Humble you.
Humble you. Humble thee.
He said the first thing I want you to know is that this testing is to humble you. Read.
And to prove thee.
Secondly, it is to prove you. Read.
To know what was in thine heart.
Thirdly, I want this test to find out what's really in your heart. Read.
Whether thou wouldst keep his commandments or no.
He says, I'm going to test to see if you really going to keep my commandments. Beloveds, it is the test of the wilderness that really proves our relationship with God. You see, I can pass the test out of the wilderness, but my question is, can I pass it in the wilderness? See, I can pass the test when the sun is shining, but can I pass it when the storm comes? I can pass the test while my wife is present, but can I pass it when she's not present? I can pass the test in the church, but can I pass it in the world? I can pass the test when I'm healthy. Can I pass the test when I'm sick? Beloved, tests are designed to stretch us. Tests are designed to pull us in all angles. Though Satan was the agent of the test, God is going to show you, Anthony, that you've got the ability to be victorious in time of
Give me my wings, Lord, so the world can hide in me. Only the basis. Oh, Lord. All I need is to be.
there is some goodness deposit into every one of us. Can I tell you something? Look this way, please. Let me teach you something right here, please. There is some goodness deposit in you, Coldwater. God made a deposit. Okay, y'all looking funny. Come on, verse 27, the Bible says what?
So God created man in his own image.
Now watch this. So God created man in his own image. That word meant shadow, in his own shade. Now wait a minute. If you create something in its shade and in its image, then you're going to be like what was created. Watch this, read.
In the image of God created he him.
Read.
Male and female created he them.
Read.
And God blessed them.
Wait a minute. God created it, and then the Bible says he blessed it. In other words, Martinez, he deposited some goodness in you, something that you didn't even ask for. It's in you, man. God. Now watch this. Don't miss this. Satan knows that God has made a deposit. Are you seeing this? He's made a deposit into you. Now, God, I wish I had time to go to Isaiah 14, because Satan always wanted to be. Y'all gonna work me. We better get that one because they look like that ain't in there. Look at Isaiah 14. I don't know what verse. I think verse 5. Verse 5. Just better read that one. I got to take a commercial here. School is finna start. Can I just act like we're in a school zone? School zone. Got to slow down right here. Watch this. Is it 5? He say, for I. Listen, 14 and 13. Watch this. Read.
For thou hast said in thine heart.
This is Satan talking. He say, for thou hast said in thy heart.
I will ascend
I want you
into
to see
heaven.
the 5 I wills. Satan is say, he said, thou hast said in thy heart,
I
I
will ascend into
will.
heaven.
The first one is, I will descend into heaven. Now he got kicked out. He was the angel of the morning. And he was up there trying to take God's place, so God kicked him out. So now he's down here. He's saying, I will ascend back. Read.
I will exalt my throne.
I will exalt. Read.
My throne above the stars
Read.
of God. I will sit
I will
sit also
set up on the mount of the congregation.
in
Read.
the sides of the north.
Now watch this. Satan knows goodness has been deposited in me. Satan wants to be where God is. So what it behoove him to do is, because I can't get to God, is to destroy his children. Please, please let your love. Oh, please let your love. Now we are asking, now we are asking, we are asking. Oh, to let your joy, let your joy reign in our voice, let your joy, to let your joy. Now we are pleading, we are with the Father, we are pleading. The Bible teaches us in 1 John chapter 2, verse number 15, that the world system is connected to 3 things. And every sin will fall up under one of these 3 things. It is the lust of the flesh, the desires of the flesh. Watch this. The lust of the eye and the pride of life. That's all points. Every sin you'll ever commit will fall up under one of these points. I told 7:30. I was in my room, had my remote control. I'm flipping. And I flipped to one of them channels. Come on, don't get holy up on me up in here. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. And because I was in there by myself, I let it stay there. Tempted. I heard mama coming. You know, y'all done got too, y'all act like this ain't never happened to nobody in here but me. I'm just being real. What I'm trying to say is there's three gates that we got to guard. What we see, what we hear, and what we say. Y'all miss this, man. Boy, I'm trying to preach and y'all not here. That's three gates. I don't care how strong you think you might be. I don't care how many. You can have a cross around your neck and a Bible in your hand. And if you ain't careful, the Bible says, let him who think he's strong take heed lest he fall. You better be careful what you see. Care how strong you think you are. You can quote the 23rd Psalms all you want to. Yeah. You could be saying, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, he maketh me. Are you hearing me? Beloveds, those are gates that we have to learn to supervise. Learn. Something. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. I got this one marked in my Bible. I don't know if you write in yours, but if you write in yours, you ought to put something on this one. The Bible says, lest Satan shall get the advantage of you. You cannot be ignorant of his devices. Satan got some devices, man. He's got some tricks. He got some stuff, Tar, that you hadn't even seen yet. And he's smooth with it. I like what he says in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 9. He said, now even him who's coming after the work of Satan with all power, all signs, and lying wonders. He says, and with all deceivableness to them that perish, because they believe not the truth. God has sent them a strong delusion that they might believe a lie. Man, Satan, one of his most smoothest tactics in the world. Please get this and you can go back to sleep. He makes you think that grass is greener, but what he fails to tell you is that grass has to be mowed too. And most of the time it's artificial turf. Oh, that way. Oh, in me, oh, when I'm gone, I know I've got to go, I've got to go that last mile. Well, when I'm gone, the last mile away, laying here, I'll get my rest at the close of the day. And I know the last mile, one more time, say, when I go. I'll get married at the close of the day, Lord. For I know, yeah. When I go the last mile of the way, yeah. Let me move. But now watch this. Watch this. See, timing is crucial. But then not only was he physically weak, he was spiritually weak. Look at verse number 2. And in those days, he did not eat nothing. And he said, it ever ended, he was very hungry. Can you imagine when Jesus was in that wilderness? The Bible says 6 weeks, he never ate. He's sitting there. Can you imagine Satan easing up and says, see, he called you his son. See, the heavens open up and the Spirit ascended like a dove. If you were all of that, then why is he allowing you to suffer? You remember all of them children John baptized? None of them are in the wilderness. Why are you in the wilderness? Can you imagine how he began to play? Come on, y'all! Can I fast? Because you know how he do you. Everybody else have a job. You've been putting out resumes forever. He hadn't answered your call. Look at your neighbor. They don't even go to church. You know, their children are outside with no shoes on. They never get a cold. You can't let yours step in the backyard, and he's got the flu. Are y'all seeing this? Satan will slip in. When you're weak, tear your mind up. Number 1 in verse 3 and 4, he gets you to first doubt God's provision. Look what he says. And the devil said unto him, if thou be the Son of God, command these stones to be turned into bread. And Jesus said, it is written, thou shalt not live by bread alone. See, Satan will call your relationship into question. He'll call your relationship into question. Man, let me tell you something. If he's your father, then why would he allow you to suffer? That's what he did to Eve. Eve in the garden, minding her own business. He went and says, you see, God don't want you to have that one. You eat off of that one, you be as wise as him. Let me show you something. So he was calling Eve's relationship into question. And you know what, to be honest with you, that ain't no bad deal. If you told me, man, you eat of this tree, you'll be wise as God, which one? Secondly, he tempts you because he wants you to despise God's preeminence. Verse 5 through 8. Look, the devil taking him into a high mountain and showed him all the mountains of the world. The Bible says, and the devil said unto him, I like this. He flashes. You see, flashes in a moment. I told 7:30. I was in the parking lot over at Sam's, and a guy walked up to me and he said, hey man, what about these diamonds? Flashed on me. And I said, no. He said, man, it's $3,000 worth of diamonds. Sell it to you for $300. I said, if it's such a good deal, you don't even know me. Why are you gonna give me a good deal? If it's that kind of gift, give them to your mama. Flashes. Hey, all of these kingdoms you can have. You know what he was trying to do? Sonny, he was trying to give him a crown. Watch this. He was trying to give him a crown with no suffering. Y'all not, you're not seeing this. See, he was taking he said, now, I'm gonna give you your crown, but you don't have to take the cross. Come on, y'all! Let me tell you something. You can't get a crown without no cross. I kind of like the way the old man used to say it. He said, now if you can't stand being talked about sometime, if you can't stand being lied on sometime, if you got to always be up and never be down, remember, no cross, you sure can't get no crown. I stopped by to tell somebody that you're going to have to go through some stuff if you're looking for the Lord's crown, you're going to have to be talked about sometime. They're going to lie on you sometime. They're going to call you everything but a child of God. But I dare you, to just hold on in there. Storms may come, winds may blow, but I dare you to just hold on in there. Goodbye, children. I got to go home now. But you got to get verse number 13. The Bible says that after Jesus resists all the temptations, Satan left. But the Bible says he just left for a season. You know what that means? He left you, but he's coming back. Are you hearing me? He might leave you, but you better keep your eyes open, because he's coming back. I told him this morning, if he don't come back for you, then it means he's already got you. Because as long as you do this, he's coming after you. He's coming after you. And if you're not ready and you're not prepared, he's going to tear you up.